Countless champions have been crowned throughout the history of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! But what about the underdogs, the dark horses, the decks that upon first glance make you question everything you thought you knew about the game? In this series, both MBT and myself will be showcasing some of Yu-Gi-Oh's wackiest unsung heroes. Each episode will feature new decks, new strategies, and the results will be unpredictable. You've seen the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! But this is the history of Jank. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code Cimoooooooo5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
Well, folks, that's 3 in a row, and you know what that means. The series is over. Oh, God, I wish that were true. Instead, you have to watch this. So, you may have noticed that the Twitter poll that Alex and I put up a couple of weeks ago actually had 4 responses apiece. Now, you just watched the curated match between the first place outcomes, that was Horus and XYZ Dragon Cannon, but now you're going to watch a curated match between the 2 second place outcomes. It's going to be Mega Rock Dragon OTK versus Hero. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, Hero is technically legal in GOAT. The first GX set, The Lost Millennium, did sneak into GOAT format, and while in competitive play, it pretty much only added brain control to the pool of playable cards, it also contained elemental heroes Clayman, Sparkman, Avion, Burstinatrix, Flame Wingman, and Thunder Giant. And I guess you could play them if you like losing. None of the original heroes were very good at all. As you can see, they are just vanillas, and their fusions weren't anything to write home about as well. We only have 2 of them in the Lost Millennium, Flame Wingman and Thunder Giant, and unfortunately, they weren't able to be summoned off of Metamorphosis, which basically meant they were unplayable. However, we're going to do our best to try and get them out and maybe go off with something like Thunder Giant Turbo. Let me run through the monsters real quick. First up, 3 elemental hero Clayman. This, very important, is an elemental hero body with a clay body built to last. He'll preserve his elemental hero colleagues at any cost. After that is Sparkman. Sparkman. At least it resolves the giant problem in GOAT of there being no good light monsters. We've got elemental hero Avion and Burstinatrix as well. Using this art maybe gets Cimo demonetized, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. After that is 3 copies of King of the Swamp. This is both a Poly Searcher and a Fusion Substitute, followed by Dark Hexield Fusion, which is both Poly and a Fusion Substitute. We've got Sangan, Cyberjar, Sinister Serpent, and 1 copy of BLS Envoy at the beginning. For spells, we've got 3 Fusion Gate. This card, while on the field, allows you to fusion summon a fusion monster by banishing materials from your hand or field, which is why we're playing 3 Return from the Different Dimension. Now, Return from the Different Dimension is really good when it's getting, like, Chaos Sorcerers, and not particularly good when it's getting Sparkman, but we'll see. We've got a Terraforming, Double Polymerization, Double Reinforcement of the Army, Delinquent Duo, Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, Mystical Space Typhoon, Giant Trunade, Mirror Force, Ring of Destruction, Compulse, Torrential Tribute, Bottomless Trap Hole, and 2 Solemn Judgment. In the extra, we've got Elemental Hero Thunder Giant, made with Sparkman and Clayman, and once per turn can discard a card to target a face-up monster on the field with attack less than the attack of this card and pop it. Notably, this card has 24, so it can get Chaos Sorcerer. And Flame Wingman, which has 2100 attack, can only be fusion summoned, can't be special summoned by other ways, and when it destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, your opponent takes damage equal to the attack of the destroyed monster. Finally, we're playing a sandwich because technically we could make it. I just think it's not particularly likely. So with that, pray for me.
You know, I don't know what to say at this point. We tried. Right? I mean, we did everything we could to appease our Lord and Savior, Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8, and it just didn't come to fruition. I guess Joseph's XYZ strategy was too good for us. Let's be honest, it was really just Blackluster Soldier that carried him there. But here we are, once again, unfortunately, in the Jank tank. And just when you thought the Jank couldn't get any worse, oh boy, we are going to be having a very exciting episode. So, Joseph and I, courtesy of our polls over on Twitter, are playing the next decks that were voted for, and I got Mega Rock OTK. It's funny that we're both playing Lost Millennium oriented decks, which is a set that typically is very much overlooked by GOAT format standards because aside from like brain control, the set isn't really particularly strong. However, this set introduced some very powerful rock cards in the form of Mega Rock Dragon and Friends. So we're playing a bit of an Earth Chaos style of deck, but Mega Rock Dragon is of course the focal point. If you've never seen this card before, first of all, this card has absolutely beautiful artwork and ultimate rare, so I'd highly recommend looking it up. But it cannot be normal summoned or set, and it must be special summoned by removing from play rock monsters in your graveyard. The original attack and defense of this card become number of rock monsters you remove from play when you special summon this card times 700. So the idea is to load our graveyard up with as many rock monsters as possible, drop this thing down with a colossal attack power, and just one-hit Joseph in the face. It's very funny. Is it going to happen? I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe the jank is just janky enough that we will be able to pull this off. We pulled off Horus. We've pulled off some absolutely absurd bullshit in the series before, so maybe pulling off a Mega Rock OTK is not impossible. So let's go ahead and do the card by card. We're starting off with 3 copies of Bazoo the Soul Eater. This isn't Earth conveniently, which helps with a lot of things in this deck, but this also banishes monsters as well because we are playing Dimension Fusion to be able to get these cards back to the field to be able to swarm an OTK that way. Following that up, we have a copy of Cyberjar. This is a card you don't get to see very often, but Cyberjar is actually absurd, and it's a rock, so it actually synergizes with the deck. We're playing 32 monsters, so we should hit a fair amount off of this, and it allows us to dig much more quickly for our Mega Rock Dragon. We've got an Exiled Force to get off of our 3 copies of Giant Rat. This is just more Earth fodder for some of the other cards that we have in here, followed by 3 copies of Gigantes as well. This is a great card for being able to just blow away back row. We really don't care about back row all that much. We just need to be able to hit in with that Mega Rock OTK, and Gigantes can help us clear the way. We've got 3 copies of Golem Sentry. You may remember this from the 2nd episode featuring Pac-Man. This card's pretty good. Once per turn, you can flip it up and target a monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand, and you can set it back down so we can continuously flip, maybe pave a way to get in with Mega Rock. 3 copies of arguably the worst Monarch in the game at this time, Grandmarg the Rock Monarch. It's actually not as bad as it seems. It is a tribute, and you can target a set card on the field and destroy it. That counts monsters and back row, actually. So it's sort of like a Shield Crush or a Mystical Space Typhoon, which ultimately isn't really that bad. But compared to something like Mobius or, Zaborg or Thestalos, it's not as great. 3 copies of Jujitsu Master. This, for some reason, is a rock. I'm not sure if he's just so swole that his limbs have taken on a stony form, but this is a great defensive card to have. Can just basically reset Joseph's draw, so I like it. 3 Magical Merchant. I love this card because since we're playing so many monsters, we could potentially mill like half of our deck off of a Merchant flip, which is ideally what we want to do anyway, and that way we can just come in with a big Mega Rock Dragon. 3 copies of the boy himself, 1 Morphing Jar, and Morphing Jar number 2 is just an annoying little card to be able to get rid of some cards that may be hard for us to deal with. We're also playing 1 Stone Statue of the Aztecs. This card will deal double battle damage when the opponent attacks into it. So for instance, if Joseph were to attack with a Sangan into this, instead of taking 1,000, he would actually take 2,000 damage. But this card just in here just to stall till we get to Mega Rock, obviously. 2 copies of the Rock Spirit, again, kind of synergizes with the whole chaos little thing we got going on, and it's also a rock. And then we're playing 8 spells: Card Destruction, Dimension Fusion, Giant Trunade, Graceful Charity, Heavy Storm, Lightning Vortex, Monster Reincarnation, obviously to get this back, and a copy of Pot of Greed. The extra deck isn't too relevant. The side deck, we are playing 2 copies of Elephant Statue of Disaster. This card, when it is sent from your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. This could potentially ward off something like a Delinquent Duo. I don't know if that makes it worth siding this in, but it is in here. We have also got 2 Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer to stop other opposing chaos strategies. A Delinquent Duo of our own, although this is basically just not done anything in the last several episodes. We resolve it, and then we lose the next turn, so that's wonderful. Mystical Space Typhoon, double cross out a Swords of Revealing Light, 3 Royal Decree. This will probably go in when we know we're going first, as well as 3 Trap Dushu. Guys, if we can pull off the OTK, that is all I'm looking for. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see how it performs. The battle for Lost Millennium is on the line, as well as the Jank Tank. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to duel. Joseph, I'm ready to rock and roll in this episode if you are. This is going to be so much fun. The battle for Lost Millennium. Who would have thought these 2 decks would be paired up against each other? I know you love heroes as well, so you're getting to play technically the first playable incarnation of the deck. How are you feeling?
I think I am going to need a hero after this one because I cannot imagine winning. But again, I thought that about the XYZ Dragon Cannon deck, and then I slapped you around, so maybe we can normal summon a Clayman our way to victory.
You still never officially summoned an XY Fusion, so you still lost in that regard.
Well,
it has never been done. Aside from the anime, it has never happened before. I'm excited, though. And, Joseph, you said you wanted to do a new randomized method to decide rock, paper, scissors. users. So ball's in your court, buddy. I'm all game for what you want to throw at me. So what do you want to do?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. Okay. Here's the random method. Pick rock.
That's the random method. Pick rock.
Okay, how about this?
Okay.
Do you have like can you go to Google and search random number generator?
Well, or you could just hold up a number of fingers to the camera.
That's a good
And then
idea.
I have to guess if it's odd or even. That's more fun.
Okay, I am holding up a number of fingers.
Okay.
Okay, now is this an odd number or an even number?
I'm gonna go even.
Okay, it was 6. Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, you wouldn't lie to me now, buddy, would you?
I thought about it, and then I realized there's photo evidence. So, yeah, that seemed like a pretty bad idea.
I guess I did a disservice, because since I'm playing Mega Rock OTK, I should have picked Rock, but, you know, it is what it is. We have to shout the patron there. RMYGO, thank you for the support. I guess we go first. Like, I kind of want the battle phase, but I still think setting up's pretty important. So,
buddy,
good luck, buddy.
I think you're going to get the battle phase.
Oh, I'll get the battle phase, that's for sure. I'll go to main 1. I'm just going to set one and pass. Go ahead.
All right, stand by main.
All good.
What do you set in this deck? There's a ton of stuff, right?
There's actually quite a bit, and it could be pretty bad depending on how it goes.
All right, well, let's start with a reinforcement of the army. I'm going to add from my
You are
deck
on
to
warriors.
the hand an elemental hero Sparkman.
With what you feel to be the superior artwork.
I'm going to normal summon Sparkman, doing the Kamehameha here. And do you have anything in response to the summon, or can I go to ignition effect priority here?
You know, go ahead if you would like to.
Okay, I'm going to use this monster's static shockwave to cut off the path of villainy. Let's see what that set card is.
It is a magical merchant.
Okay.
We are going to get rocking and rolling here. Let's see. So, actually, I just got a spell right off the bat, so this is actually going to go back to that. I was thinking I'm going to go pretty deep here, but that's unfortunate. Giant Trinate's pretty good, though. I'll take it.
It is a decent one. I will set 1, and I will pass it back to you, buddy.
All right, sounds good. We'll draw. We will go to main 1, and I think, you know, I loved that turn so much that I think I'm going to set another monster and pass it over to you, buddy. Go ahead.
Sure. I'll draw for turn. Stand by main. Oh, this might get interesting. Let's fire off a Graceful Charity.
Ooh, all right. All right, DM Staples coming in clutch for you.
Ooh, wow, that's exactly what I needed. Oh my gosh.
Are we going to be seeing a fusion summon of Thunder Giant, Joseph?
You might be.
Oh, there's our good friend Dark X Sealed Fusion.
First, you're going to be seeing this. A Delinquent Duo!
Oh, okay. All right, well, I conveniently have 6 cards in my hand, so go ahead.
Let's see what we got. Let's grab this one. That's not even remotely close to 4. Let's grab this one.
I was about to say that is not remotely close to 4. I would have kind of preferred you pick that, to be honest, because this was the alternative.
Let's go.
I will get rid of a legendary Jujitsu Master.
Oh, I hope that's not what that set card is.
Joseph, would you please explain to me how this card is a rock? Is this Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a Yu-Gi-Oh card? I don't get it. I just don't understand.
He's got a little more hair than The Rock. I shouldn't insult The Rock. He could beat the hell out of me. Okay, let's go to combat. I'll attack.
It is another magical merchant. Let's try this again.
All right. Nope.
Okay, there we go.
Nope.
2,
Nope.
3, 4.
I'm starting to
5,
realize what this
6,
deck does.
7, 8. What are you talking about, buddy? 9. Hey, there's the reincarnation. We'll
Thank
take
God
it.
you don't have the Mega Rock in that set. We're going to activate Fusion Gate next.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And
Yep.
now I will banish my Sparkman. And I'll banish my Clayman to
Here
summon
he comes.
Elemental Hero Thunder Giant.
He has emerged. I never thought we would actually get this far, to be honest. I thought I would have killed you before this hit the field. So
Me
congratulations. You did it.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
All right. We'll draw. You got anything in standby for me?
No.
All right. We'll go to main 1. I'll start with a Pot of Greed.
Yep.
Get a couple more cards here. Okay. Thunder Giant. He's pretty big. He's pretty big.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rocks in the graveyard? Oh boy.
I mean, even if I had the Mega Rock, that's not lethal, unfortunately. Okay. This is a lot. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to start with a Giant Trunade.
Okay.
Everything goes back. I'm going to normal summon an Exiled Force.
Yep.
We're going to clear the Thunder Giant.
Yep.
Then we are going to Monster Reincarnation, pitching this Jujitsu Master for the Gigantes in our graveyard.
Sure.
Then we are going to banish an Earth for said Gigantes.
Yep.
I'm going to banish another Earth for the Rock Spirit.
Okay, I'm still with you.
And then I will banish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rock monsters for Mega Rock Dragon!
Okay, what's this guy's attack right now?
5,600.
Oh, no.
So this is, in fact, lethal. Holy shit.
Wow, that was miserable. I had the return from the different dimension, too, but I thought, what are the chances that he does lethal here?
I needed monster reincarnation exactly. Otherwise, I could not have killed you.
Even if I had the Mega Rock Dragon. Even if I had the Mega Rock Dragon, buddy. All right, I may have suffered a humiliating and decidedly non-heroic defeat here, but this one's gonna be different.
What? You got to summon your big guy. I got to summon my bigger guy. I think that's fair, right?
No! My big guy sucks! All right, I'm gonna set 2 and pass turn.
All right, we'll draw. Anything in standby. No. Go to main 1. How do we want to start? I think we'll start with a good old graceful charity.
Jeez. All right, sure.
You know, it's only fair. You got yours last game. With said graceful charity, I'm going to pitch this card destruction, and I'm going to get rid of this Bazoo the Soul Eater while I'm at it.
Okay, no rocks. I'm in.
Then I will just set 1 and pass. Go ahead.
Okay, we could do this. Stand by main. Oh,
very
absolutely
doable.
Punished. I am going to normal summon Elemental Hero Sparkman.
He has emerged.
I'll go to combat, and I will attack.
It is Magical Merchant once more.
Stop. No. Cut it out. Oh,
what,
that's
buddy?
fine.
What's wrong? Oh, and Pot of Greed off the Merchant?
No,
I'll take it. Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to have another opportunity to do this. So I'm going to polymerization here.
You're going to go for it, sure.
We're going to send King of the Swamp and Sparkman for Thunder Giant.
Now, Joseph, remember the last time you made Thunder Giant?
I remember! All right, go ahead, buddy.
My graveyard's also light of about 13 other monsters, so I think you're a little bit safer than you were before. All right, I'll draw. We'll fire off Pot of Greed.
Yeah.
This is where I get heavy slumped for my life.
Oh,
it's not bad, I guess. Let's run out an Exiled Force.
Okay, sure.
I'll take out the Thunder Giant.
Yep.
Then, do I want to do anything on the follow-up here? I do have 7 cards, actually, so I probably have to do something. I will go ahead and banish my Giant Rat for a Rock Spirit.
Sure.
And let's attempt to hit your set.
You fucking fool. My Elemental Hero Clayman's body was built to last. Take your 300.
I'll take the 300. What can stop a rock but a thicker rock? Go ahead.
Oh, sick. Okay, Rhoda.
Sure.
We're gonna grab a Sparkman.
Do you have another Poly?
I do not. I do have a King of the Swamp, though.
Oh, okay.
I'll grab it that way.
That's basically the same thing.
And then we'll fire off the Poly, I suppose.
Sounds good. I've got no back row.
Clayman, Sparkman. Let's go grab a Thunder Giant.
Seems like you have no issue summoning this card, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, the problem with the deck is that summoning it costs 3 cards, and the monster dies to Exiled Force. So you might have noticed the issue here.
Just maybe. I'll go ahead and draw. I'll just set 1 and pass. Go ahead.
Stand by main. Oh, great. Okay, I'm going to normal summon Elemental Hero Clayman here. We'll go to combat. What would you set? Oh, God. Oh, it better not be Giant Rat.
It is another Magical Merchant.
Even worse.
Let's go digging.
No.
Should have hit with the Clayman, buddy.
No.
You could have gotten a pretty sizable hit in. Oh, I'll take the True Nade. Sure, that sounds pretty good.
Okay. I'll get in for 800. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, go ahead.
Rock doesn't always beat rock, Joseph. I'll go to standby. You got anything?
No.
Okay, we'll go to main 1. Let's think. Can we do anything to clean this one up? Maybe, but I'm not fully convinced.
You certainly
Let's do a
have enough
quick rock
rocks
chant
now.
of the graveyard. We got a few. We don't have as many as I would like, but there's a few. Have enough, I feel. Okay. I'm going to start the turn with a Heavy Storm.
Sure.
That is a Heavy Storm, sir, not a True Nade.
I disagree. All right, sure.
Okay. So So those are gone. Then let's go ahead and we're just going to lightning vortex here.
Okay. Yup, that's fine.
Things are going well, aren't they?
Yup.
All right. And then I don't know what the fucking rock count is. I'm just bringing them out.
Oh, come on. I don't have a single goddamn card in my deck that beats this. 2,
3, 4, 5, 6. Is it only 6? All right, that's 4,200. I think only 6 is fine. I will also run out a giant rat since I have not normal summoned yet, and I will hit you for 5,600. Go ahead, draw your last pathetic card.
Oh, that might actually do it. It's Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning.
Oh, what the fuck kind of Heart of the Cards bullshit is that? You don't wait,
but
what
I
dark
don't have
do you
a dark in the graveyard. No, why is King of the Swamp water? Oh, yeah, you got it, buddy. How could this have happened? Who could have seen this coming? Certainly not me.
No, not at all. Not at all. Thunder Giant Turbo just falling so quickly to the all great Mega Rock Dragon.
Jesus.
Holy shit. That was quick. That was quick. Let's do another quick one. Let's do another quick one. We got time.
You got it. Let's run this.
Yeah, I want to see if you can at least take one game off of me. I will let you even go first.
Oh
I'll
my
be
God.
nice.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I do not think it is likely I'm going to.
Okay. Let's see what happens. I think there's a chance.
This is our best hand yet. Let's go Graceful Charity.
That's a good start.
Oh, okay. Well, MST is terrible against you, and Poly is not much better. We're gonna set one, pass.
Okay, we'll draw. Let's go to main one. I liked your move so much that I will reciprocate. Go ahead.
I'll draw for turn, stand by main. Let's flip up Cyberjar.
Oh, shit. All right, that's fine. There goes the giant rat. Would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Ooh, that's exactly what I wanted. That's not a bad one. Nope.
Oh, duo 2. Shit.
Ooh, wow.
All right. Oh, you got sick. A few.
This is sick. Wow.
So you get Dark Hex Sealed Fusion, you get the Clayman, the Sinister Serpent, and then you add Mirror Force plus Delinquent Duo. That's pretty gross.
They're decent.
All right, my turn. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and get a jar. Let's get this. Funny enough, you can't kill a defense position exiled force with your current board, and I will take these 2 to my hand.
Shuffle all my... Oh, God. Okay. I'll continue my battle phase, I suppose. Oh, no, we're still in main.
That was main 1.
Oh, geez. Okay, so I could Dark Hex Sealed Fusion here into Thunder Giant. Don't think that does anything for me. Let's just go to battle. We'll attack into the Morphing Jar number 2.
Okay, so we're going to be shuffling everything back once more.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to go first?
Yes.
So we're looking for 3 monsters here that are level 4 or lower. Okay, nope. It's a whiff.
Nope.
Also a whiff. There's 1.
Okay.
Okay, 2. Oh, let's keep getting rid of those spells and traps. Oh, second swamp. All right.
That's not the...
Then the rest go to the graveyard, and then it will be my turn. I don't know if I shuffled, actually, so let me actually put that back. Okay, so we'll shuffle up here, and now we shall mill. There's 1, and probably going to hit... Oh, wow, I actually lost the True Nade. That sucks. Rock
sick.
Spirit is a whiff, actually, so I only get 1 here.
Wait, this turned out great. Okay. Second main. Well, I was kind of hoping for like a polymerization. You got what, a True Nade here?
You know I have Heavy Storm off of the Cyberjar.
Heavy Storm, Pot of Greed. Awesome. I'm gonna duo here.
Okay. We'll go ahead and shuffle up the hand. We have 7 cards, so you may have to pick one. Unless you're just gonna do it this way. Oh, come on!
Easy.
Kind of bullshit is that? All right. I guess I will get rid of this Jujitsu Master.
And then I for second main, I do not believe I have committed to a normal summon yet.
You have not. No.
All right. So I'll go for the Dark Hex Sealed Fusion.
You're going to go into a Thunder Giant?
Trigger the effect. Yeah, we'll send him and him to the grave. Grab a Thunder Giant. I will set 1, and I will pass turn.
Buddy?
What's up?
How are you summoning Elemental Hero Thunder Giant with Dark Hex Sealed Fusion?
What the fuck? Are you kidding me? What's the Dark Hex Sealed Fusion targeted here? Oh my God, it's Sandwich.
Please tell me that's a joke.
Oh my
Are you
God.
playing Flame Wingman?
Flame Wingman is wind.
Or is he wind?
Oh.
Is that supposed to be light Hexield fusion?
I imagine it had better be.
Okay, you know what? I will give you the benefit of the doubt, and let's say it's light Hexield fusion.
I don't know how much it's going to matter if I'm being honest with you.
Fair. I'll go ahead and draw. Go to main 1 here. I'm assuming, I mean, it could be Mirror Force, but it could be a myriad of other things as well. Okay, let's see what we want to do here. I will, in fact, tribute my Bazoo for a Grandmarg the Rock Monarch.
Okay.
And let's go after what I presume is the Mirror Force.
It is actually a torrential tribute.
Okay, that's also fine. We'll go to battle. You need to discard something pretty big to pop this with Thunder Giant, so I actually don't care all that much. These are both King of the Swamps, correct?
Yeah.
Then I guess we'll just go ahead and take one of them out. And I think second main, kind of feeling okay, to be honest. I'll just pass.
All right, stand by main. Let's go for reinforcement of the army here. I'm going to grab a Sparkman.
Sounds good.
You know, I kind of thought that I would eventually get to make Flame Wingman, but he is just terrible. Okay, and then I'm going to banish a light and a dark.
Oh, this time you do actually have the dark for the BLS. Okay.
Oh, but if
All
we're
right.
pretending this is light Hexield fusion, I'll go for the Cyberjar instead.
Fair. I mean, you have that too, so that works. There he is.
All right, let's just put the pressure on. BLS into this guy.
So I'm going to take 6, then 3,000 on the follow-up attack. And then, what is
24.
this? 5, 16, 24. I'm dead! Congratulations,
Woo!
buddy!
We did it! A single game!
I thought about special summoning this Gigantes as well to protect myself, but it was basically BLS or bust at that point. So, okay, so it's possible this deck can win. It's just, you know, you kind of need to have
unlikely.
it all.
Yeah, this was a hand that started Graceful Charity, went through Duo, and also had to Cyberjar for your entire life savings.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine.
That was miserable.
Wow.
What a bad
Horrible.
fucking deck.
Absolutely horrible. This was fun though. I do like how Magical Merchant is the honorary rock monster of this deck because this deck plays 32 monsters and 8 spells. So the chances of you just going the distance off Merchant are pretty high. And you're happy with any hit off Merchant because you're just going to get anything. You're either going to get like Trunade or Heavy Storm that's going to just win you the game with Mega Rock Dragon, or you're going to get like a card that will get you to Mega Rock Dragon. You know, like a Graceful Charity, a Pot of Greed, a Monster Reincarnation if you milled one. So it's just all value. I mean, if I get knocked on the Merchant, then I probably just cry and lose the game immediately. But, you've got plenty of other things, right? There's Giant Rats, there's Jujitsu Masters. You can put up some walls, but very, very silly deck indeed. I had a blast. And I'm glad we actually got to get a straight up 8,000 OTK on you. And you did the same. You reciprocated with this.
I gotta tell you, I saw a lot of people commenting on the Mega Rock Dragon thread, talking about how like this is the deck that they remember playing as a kid. This is what they remember like bopping their friends with on the playground, and it's not hard to see why. Mega Rock Dragon is one of the earliest cards that holds your hand and tells you how to build the deck. Any rock monster you have, jam in here. If it has any utility whatsoever, it's probably good enough. And notably, the best versions of this deck, the one that you're playing right now, is very inexpensive by the standards of like 2005 children.
Oh, sure.
I think the most expensive card in here is either the Pot of Greed or Heavy Storm, which of course can be replaced with Trunade very easily, or it's the Mega Rock Dragon, which is a super rare in the Lost Millennium, not even particularly difficult to get. So you get to circumvent all of that extremely expensive staple spell traps like Solemns, Torrentials, Mirror Forces, etc., and just play the cards that bounce spell traps to find off Magical Merchant, and then you just gotta play the big rocky boy. And honestly, it goes toe-to-toe with a lot of meta strategies. So it's really, really cool for a lot of people to be playing stuff like this. Dimension Fusion, of course, in the optimal version, but I think you probably wouldn't see that often on the playground.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, when you're talking about being cost prohibitive, I think Dimension Fusion may be the only other card that might be out of people's price range. But to be fair, like, Return to the Different Dimension could also be an alternative because that was like a common in the movie pack or whatever.
And Dimension
but,
Fusion
it's
isn't
not
even really that necessary, honestly. If you get the Mega Rock Dragon out, you're already winning.
The idea is with the Dimension Fusion is that because Mega Rock Dragon requires so many rocks in the grave to actually be able to just hit in for the OTK, Dimension Fusion will 100% get you there. So because you can get it off of the Merchant as well, that's just like the ideal 2-card combo. And you'll almost be able to certainly guarantee with the Gigantes, with the Bazoos, with the Rock Spirits, that something will be banished. And I mean, on top of the Mega Rock Dragon as well, that's going to be more than enough to clear the damage threshold to OTK. But I gotta say, I mean, for Hero's like first ever deck, I mean, the fact that you pulled out Thunder Giant nearly every single turn was actually pretty impressive. I was expecting to maybe see it once, and we saw it, what, 4 times over the course of 3 games? That's pretty good.
So Thunder Giant is a card that I really, really like. It's actually kind of powerful by 2005 standards. It shocks me that it has the line of text on it. It must be fusion summoned and can't be special summoned by other ways. Because if it didn't have it on there, this would absolutely see a ton of play in GOAT as a metamorphosis target. It would be like maybe the best 6-star. Of course, as is, it's unplayable because you have to play a deck full of vanillas. Outside of, I think, Archfiend and Gravekeeper, this is like the first archetype deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's one of the very first that like rewards you for playing a critical mass of heroes with stuff like the material necessary to make very powerful fusions like Thunder Giant. There's also traps like Hero Signal that come out around this time that unfortunately I just couldn't find room for. I mean, what of my really exceptional cards would I possibly have gotten rid of? But as you saw, early Hero suffers from one incredibly big problem, and that's that a fusion summon costs 3 cards worth of material. It costs the 2 monsters, and it costs the polymerization. And you can circumvent that a little with the Hex-Sealed Fusions, with the Kings of the Swamp, in order to like be either a polymerization or a material. But going 3 deep on a Thunder Giant and then going an additional card deep in order to pop cards with it, I mean, it's a pretty big ask. And this does die to every removal spell, so it's not hard to see why this deck never saw any historic play.
Right. It's not like Anime Card of Sanctity exists, right? It's not like you can spend your whole hand and draw 6 and then just basically dump your hand to Thunder Giant. It's funny you also mentioned about Thunder Giant. That means you actually can't even you can't Dark Hex Sealed Fusion anyway. You can't Light Hex Sealed Fusion it because it must be fusion summon, buddy. So that actually wasn't even able to happen in the first place. It has the Dark Paladin clause, but it's okay.
Oh my god. What? This deck is terrible.
And that's why we're playing the history of Jank, right? Just to see how terrible some of these cards actually are. Because when you think they're better than they are, it turns out that's not even the case. It also just boggles my mind. I do agree with you that Thunder Giant is just...
wow. It's ruined my day.
Thunder Giant is objectively better than Flame Wingman, right? Because its removal, like Flame Wingman has like the burn effect, which is cute, but Thunder Giant also just has better stats all around.
2100 attack and dies to everything.
The thing is with Thunder Giant specifically, like it can at least hold up to Monarch stats as well, and Jinzo, which is important if you're looking at it in the context of like GOAT format. Why can't it just pop a monster? Why can't it just be discard a card, pop a monster? You already invested 3 cards into this. You're telling me you can only pop a face up, and the attack of the monster has to be less than the attack of Thunder Giant?
You can't even pop a Monarch. It doesn't work.
Right, exactly. Like, the fact it's so restrictive in that way on top of it, after everything you've jumped through, I'm not sure if they just thought these cards were just going to be overly powerful for the time, which is kind of a joke in retrospect, but it's mind-blowing. It's truly mind-blowing how that's the case.
It's not hard to see why early GX sets are not remembered fondly by anyone who played at the time or limited, and it really took until Gladiator Beasts for like a coherent GX thing to emerge. And the reason for that is just the first, like, 6 packs are littered with this shit. Just garbage ass. Invest all your resources into a Thunder Giant type cards in a format where Chaos Sorcerer is legal. So, you know, take your pick, buddy.
Right. And I'm thinking about it because from History of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're all the way up to Edison format. I feel like Diva Hero, well, no, I guess Big City was really when Hero, like, first started to appear. But even then, you're not even really playing the fusion fusions, right? You're
Yeah.
just playing some of the hero monsters because there's this incidental synergy with Big City 2 or Skyscraper 2, and Wildheart doesn't die to traps, and like Ocean can get them back, and Stratos is broken, right?
For a long
And
time, hero just meant Stratos and friends.
essentially, right. And like the first real instance of us seeing an elemental hero fusion that was good, it had to be Absolute Zero in my mind,
Really?
where it had an effect that was basically uncounterable because if it left the field, everything was getting wiped. And it was also at the time, and I believe this is a post-Cybernetic Revolution card, Miracle Fusion also existed.
Yeah.
Because Miracle Fusion meant that you didn't have to invest actual resources. You were investing virtual card advantage to summon out one of your elemental hero fusions. And so it took a very tall order for this to happen.
I'm
and,
actually
it eventually got
through,
there. But
I'm looking through the elemental hero fusions now, and I'm like, Great Tornado, Escuriato. No, it really took until Absolute Zero for an elemental hero fusion to be playable. That is horrifying.
and
That
Elemental
was what,
Hero Absolute
2011?
Zero only requires one elemental hero monster. And
That's
the
why
other
it's
card
good.
has to be a water monster. That's the other. So it's not even that, too. Like, you need to have it be
my
only
God.
half the requirements of this Thunder Giant for it to even be good. That's just mind blowing. The amount that they had to backpedal in order to make these fusions playable. Absurd. And it was, I mean, it was good. Absolute Zero just wrecked face.
That
as
card
we've seen in
particularly,
history of
very
Yu-Gi-Oh!
good. Very good.
I've heard it's okay. But, you know, it is what it is. I think, though, this was a very fun, just throwback to these old school playground decks that people remember fondly as kids. You know,
I had fun.
I never personally played the Mega Rock Dragon deck, but I remember a friend of mine in elementary school did actually play this deck.
We all
and
had
I
a
remember
friend.
we all had the one friend. Yep. And that's why we don't talk to him anymore.
Oh my God. No, I lost a lot to Mega Rock Dragon as a kid, for sure. My brother pulled it, I think, in Lost Millennium and just built a deck around it, and it was killer. Here I am, screwing around with Thunder Giant and hoping for the best.
And people wonder why the Lost Millennium really didn't see much impact in common Yu-Gi-Oh! This is why!
Yeah.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the History of Jank. We have to shout the patrons as always. So big shouts to Shout1317, Mono, Cameron Smiths, Chaotic Meatball, and Gayoko, Tim Zuzer X3, Ika Ironfang, Pony Stark Part 2, Ian Musa, Michael Dente, Dan the Man Hoban, Secret Guy, Ole, Mystic Walk, Sylvia Wild, Draconic, Rockslide, Dollywop, Logan Thomas, Peter Gregory, Cole T, Thomas Nelson, Yusuf Asin 05, Jordan Coons, Calvin, Iron Bladesman, Pure Ace, Jesse Wood, True Nerdgasm, Brother Paul, Chris Hood, Lumpy, Nehru Celeste, David Liu, Rockley 325, Lane Rogers, Silent Agent 216, I Side in Gren Maju and Salad, Sky Rose, Dylan Hunter, Brett Harvey, John 2-Based, Apathy Astro, Brody Eastwood, Dace Zero, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Give Me Speedroid or Give Me Death, MBT's Hard Leg, Ashlyn Jensen, Cyber Peon Perp 6, TC Gaming, Matthew Brady, Edison Format, Ash Blossom Toe Sniffer, Dr. Solis, Max, and Tom Russell. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.